do too.
Monsters are made. I made a ghost, but he didn't want my head. He only wants to know who I stand by.
I made a devil, but he didn't want my sword. He only wanted to want my breakfast.
I made a vampire, but he didn't want my blood. He only wants 2 nickels for a dime.
I keep eating all the little people and all the white tasks.
I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor. I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, and I don't like it very much. Oh no! Oh no! He's up to my toe! He's up to my toe! Oh gee! Oh gee! He's up to my knee! He's up to my knee! Oh fiddle! Oh fiddle! He's up to my middle! He's up to my middle! Oh heck! Oh heck! He's up to my neck! He's up to my neck! Oh dread! Oh dread! He's up to my head!
Do you think that something's brown a lot?
Yes, they said they can do anything, anytime.
Let me tell you about my favorite story of the girl who bounced. The fancy style of Zephyr was done by Melissa of Coconut Grove. She bounced on the board and flew into the air with a twist of her head and a twirl of her hair. She did 34 jackknives backwards and spun, quadruple-gated, and reached for the sun. Then somersaulted 9 times and a quarter, and looked down and saw that the pool has no water.
Sometimes we are lonely and we think that nobody cares about us. Maybe somebody does, but I'm really not sure. Nobody. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares. Nobody picks me peaches and pears. Nobody offers me candy and coke. Nobody listens or laughs at my jokes. Nobody helps when I get in a fight. Nobody does on my overhead night. Nobody misses me. Nobody cries. Nobody thinks I'm a wonderful guy. So if you ask me who's my best friend, in a whiz, I'll stand up and tell you that nobody is. But yesterday night, I got quite scared. I woke up and nobody just wasn't there. I called out and reached for nobody's hand in the darkness where nobody usually stands. Then I poked through the house in each cranny and nook, but I found somebody. Each place that I looked, I searched and tired, and now with the dawn, there's no doubt about it, nobody's gone.
I love commercials. I buy everything they advertise.
You mean only if your mom lets you.
Well, we have a story about a kid who really buys everything they advertise, even if his parents won't let him. Clarence. Clarence Lee from Tennessee loved the commercials he saw on TV, watched with wide, believing eyes, and bought everything they advertised.
Cream to make his kid feel better. Spray to make his hair look wetter. Bleach to make his white things whiter. Stylish jeans that fit much tighter.
Toothpaste for his cavities, powder for his doggy's fleas, purple mouthwash for his breath, deodorant to stop his sweat.
The body cereal they presented, body stain that they invented.
And then one day he looked and saw a brand new mop, a better pop. New improved in every way. Hurry, order yours today.
So of course the little Clarence had offered 2 brand new parents. The new ones came in the morning mail, the old ones he sold at a garage sale.
They all are doing fine. His new ones treat him sweet and kind. The old ones work with old coal mine.
So, if your mom and pa are mean, and make you eat your lima beans, and make you wash and make you wait, and never let you stay up late, and scream and scold and preach and pout, that simply means they're wearing out. So send off for 2 brand new parents, and you'll be as happy as little Clarence. piece lies on the ground.
Did you ever try to guess which puzzle it was from?
Picture puzzle piece. One picture puzzle piece lies on the sidewalk. One picture puzzle piece soaking in the rain.
It might be a button of blue on the coat of the woman who lived in your shoe.
It might be a magical bean or a fold in a red velvet robe of the queen.
It might be the one little bite of the apple her stepmother gave to Snow White.
It might be a veil of a bride or a bottle with some evil genie inside.
It might be a small tuft of hair from the big bouncy belly of Bobo's hair.
It might be a bit of the cloak of the witch of the west as she melted in the smoke.
It might be a shadowy trace of a tear that runs down Amy's face.
Nothing has more possibilities than one old blank picture puzzle piece. Have you ever seen a real boss of kids who gets away all the time?
Sometimes I wish she wouldn't get away. That would really show her. Ladies first. Pamela Percival.
Ladies first!
Pushing in front of the ice cream line. Pamela Percival.
Ladies first!
Grabbing the ketchup at dinner time. Climbing on the morning bus. She'd shove right by all of us. And there'd be a tip or fight or fuss from Pamela Percival.
Ladies first! Pamela first screamed, ladies first! When we went up on our jungle trip, Pamela first said, my thirst is worse, and guzzled our water every sip. And when we got grabbed by that wild savage band, they tied us together and made us all stand in a long line in front of the king of the land, a cannibal known as Pride of Dan, who sat on his throne with a big sword behind, with a lick on his lips and a fork in his hand. As he tried to decide who be first in the pan, from back of the line with a shrill voice of hers, Pamela first yelled, ladies first!
I have a great excuse. Let's pretend that I got kidnapped when my teacher asks why I'm late for school. Yeah, what an excuse. Kidnapped. This morning I got kidnapped by 3 masked men. They stopped me on the sidewalk and offered me some candy. But when I wouldn't take it, they grabbed me by the collar and pinned my arms behind me and shoved me in the back seat of this big black limousine and tied my hands behind my back with sharp and rusty wire. They put a blindfold on me so I couldn't see where they took me, and they shoved cotton in my ears so I couldn't hear their voices, and they drove for 20 miles, or at least 20 minutes, and then dragged me from the car down to some cold and moldy basement where they stuck me in the corner and went off to get some ransom, leaving one to guard me with a shotgun pointed at me, tied up sitting on a stool. That's why I'm late for school. Do our homework for us. I can see now. We'll be star performers without having to do any work. The homework machine. Oh, the homework machine. Most perfect contraption I've ever been seen. Just put in your homework and drop it on. Snap on the switch and in 10 seconds time. Your homework comes out as quick and clean as can be. Here it is. 9 plus 4 and the answer is 3. 3? Oh me. I guess it's not as perfect as I thought it would be. Do you know Abigail? She's a little girl who's spoiled. Can you imagine carrying on about something you really want? No, really? Little Abigail and my beautiful pony. There was once a girl named Abigail who was taking a drive through the country with her parents when she spied a beautiful, sad-eyed, gray and white pony with a sign that said, "For sale, cheap." "Oh," said Abigail, "may I have that pony? May I please?" And her parents said, "No, you may not." And Abigail said, "But I must have that pony." And her parents said, "Well, you can't have that pony, but you can have a nice pretty peacock ice cream cone when we get home." And Abigail said, "But I must have that pony. I don't want a better peacock ice cream cone. I want that pony. I must have that pony." And her parents said, "Be quiet and stop nagging. You're not getting the pony." And Abigail began to cry and said, "If I don't get that pony, I'll die." And her parents said, "You won't die. No child ever dies from not getting a pony." And Abigail felt so bad that when they got home, she went to bed. She couldn't eat, she couldn't sleep, and her heart was broken. And she did die, all because of a pony her parents wouldn't buy. Wait, teach your folks when they won't buy you something you want. awful boring chore. If you have to dry the dishes instead of going to the store, if you have to dry the dishes and you drop one on the floor, maybe they won't let you dry the dishes anymore. You're supposed to sing upon the baby.
When we went to the zoo, we saw a white polar bear.
It was a hot day. I bet he would have liked to be the North Pole or maybe a refrigerator.
There. There's a polar bear in our refrigerator. And I said that it's cold in there.
With his feet in the meat and his face in the fish and his big hairy paws in the buttery fish.
He's nibbling the noodles. He's munching the rice. He's slurping the soda. He's eating the eggs.
And he does a roar if you open the door, and it gives me a scare to know he's there.
And polar bear in our refrigerator.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, that's my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, that's my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, that's my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. Do you remember playing in the sandbox park? I remember digging with old bottles, cartons, and spoons.
I remember pretending that I was an astronaut.
I remember treating back on race cars.
I remember that I was a doctor and that the mouths of sound for my patients.
I remember that I was in a rock and roll band.
Yeah, what if we were a rock and roll band?
Rock and roll band. We were a rock and roll band, travel all over the land. We play, we sing, and wear sparkly things. We were a rock and roll band.
If we were a rock and roll band and we were up in that stand, the people would cheer us, love us, cheer us. Hooray for the rock and roll band.
We were a rock and roll band. We have a million fans. We giggle and laugh and sign autographs if we were a rock and roll band.
If we were a rock and roll band, we will all be kissing her in heaven. And we will be billionaires without excellent hair. We were a rock and roll band.
So we came to a rock and roll band. Just 6 kids in the stand with homemade guitars and pails and jars and drums and leadership pads.
The 6 kids in the stand, talking and waving our hands and doing their thing. Oh, wouldn't it be grand if we were a rock and roll band?
I went to take a bath yesterday and there were too many people in my tub. Crowded tub. There's too many kids in this tub. There's too many of us to scrub. I just want to keep mine that I'm sure wasn't mine. There's too many kids in this tub. I heard of a place the cowboys couldn't do anything right. Poor wife and poor home couldn't understand it. Backward Bill. Backward Bill, backward Bill. He lives way up on Backward Hill, which is really a hole in the sandy ground, but that's a hill turned upside down. Backward Bill's got a backward shack with a big front porch that spills out back. You walk through the window, you look through the door, and the cellar is on the very top floor. Backward Bill is right like the wind. Don't know where he's going, but sees where he's been. And his spurs go in, and his horse goes clang, and his 6th gun goes nab. It never goes bang. Backward Bill's got a backward cut. They eat their supper when the sun comes up. He's got a wife named Backward Bill. She's my own true hate says Backward Bill. Backward Bill puts his hat on his toes and puts on his underwear over his clothes. And come every day to pay his bus and ride up smiling and carrying his hawk. And I was a
What if I never learn to dance? Everything seems swell, and then the nighttime wanted to strike again.
Too proud of me to speak. I'm the princess that lost my Cinderella. I searched high and low for my beautiful lady. I didn't know what to do in search of Cinderella. From dusk to dawn, from town to town, without a single clue. I seek the tender, slender foot, the sweetest crystal shoe. From dusk to dawn, I tried it on, each damsel I meet. I still love her so, but oh, I started hating feet. I had a conversation with God the other day. We always talk about how the world is going, and any problems that I have. So, God real. God said to me what kind of cloud. Hey, how would you like to be God for a while and steer the world? Okay, says I. I'll give it a try. Where do I set? How much do I get? What time is lunch? When can I quit? You'll be back that wheel, God. I don't think you're quite ready. My mom had to give me a new babysitter. I was privileged and happy when Mom and Dad were precious only child. I'm thinking of selling her at the nearest auction house. One sister for sale, one sister for sale, one crying, sighing sister for sale. I'm really not kidding. So her fits a fitting. But here's a dollar, a nickel, a penny. Oh, isn't there? Isn't there? Isn't there? Anyone's kid who buy this old sister for sale? It's crying, sighing, sister for sale.
I get tired of standing up all day long. I also get tired of hanging out. Standing is stupid, crawling is first, skipping is silly, walking is first, hopping is hopeless, sitting is senseless, running is ridiculous, jogging is sin. Guess we're going to sit and lie down again.
King Midas and I have something in common. He touches things that still exist. Bushes touch. Everything King Midas touched turns to gold, the lucky stuff. Every single thing I touch turns to raspberry jello. Today I touched the kitchen wall.
Squish!
I went and punched my brother Paul.
Splish!
I tried to fix my bike on the knee.
Sploosh!
I kissed my mother on the cheek.
Sploosh!
I went into my overshoes.
Flush!
I tried to read the evening news.
Flush!
I sat down in the easy chair.
Flush!
I tried to comb my wavy hair.
Flush!
I took a dive into the sea.
Smush!
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Splash!
What if Captain Hook was also King Midas? Nah, Captain Hook has his own problem. Captain Hook must remember not to